Hi, it's Mike. Just before we get into today's video, I want to apologize for the noise that the fans are putting off. During the nights, it can get very warm in here, and I can't sleep like that. So I have the fans going, and the person that usually comes in to shut them off around 5 didn't today. So unfortunately, you're going to hear the fans going through today's video. But hopefully we get that corrected. Anyway, on to the video. Hey, welcome back to Mike's Diabetes World. Well, first things first, okay? Current blood sugar. Now, I'm going to show you this screen. It says 11.1. This doesn't have any pink, doesn't have any correction on it, and we'll discuss that a bit later. And last night, I just kept going up, till I took a correction. And it'd be coming down since then. So, let's take a look at time and range for the last 24 hours. Da-da-da-da! Crap. Yesterday, I spent more time above the target. Below the target is 3. So 47% time and range. You don't want this. This is bad. And look at my average sugar. It's at 9.4. Something's up here. So, we'll see. Today, I want to talk to you. Well, I call this pump issues, but it's not really a pump issue. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. This channel is provided for informational purposes only. Contact your physician for any diagnostic or treatment plan. Okay, so, pump issues. Yesterday, I switched my pump out. This is the new pump. But Mike, it looks exactly the same. Well, you know what? It's because it is exactly the same. This is the exact same model as the pump I took off. Well, why? Well, the pump I was using was a loaner from Medtronic. My old pump broke up here that I had been using for 4 years. So I've been using the loaner for a year. I was approved for a brand new pump, and it has just taken a while for me to start to use it. Before, it was me trying to get better control, get those lows bumped up a bit. So now that worked. I was ready to go on to this, and then we decided, well, I'll wait to see the doctor, and then we'll move on from there. The problem with this is when I usually show my screens, let's go to this one, there's usually a blue shield there that tells me that SmartGuard is not active, or is active. Right now, it's not active. You have to wait, I believe it's 48 hours before SmartGuard will start working. And that is so the pump learns your blood sugar. One thing I would really like as a feature is that we can take the information off the old pump, feed it into this pump, so when you hook this up, the new pump will start automatically. But we don't have that, so right now I've done 24 hours on this pump, and not being in auto mode, I would definitely have to have more insulin, because coming down to 11.1, while it's not terribly high, it's still high, and going up to 15. So we'll just have to see how things go. I want to get back into SmartGuard. And why do we want SmartGuard? Well, it automatically gives me insulin as a correction value, and it also modifies my basal rate. So it's pretty much doing what diabetics was trying to say. I was going to say normal diabetics, but we're not going to go there. But people who don't have diabetes. So I didn't realize how much I would need to change this feature. So I've run out of active insulin, and I probably won't get any more till I take my morning dose. But as you can see, calibration is still there, and I did morning calibration. It was getting lowered, but who knows where we're going to go with this. We still have another 14 or 24 hours to go. 22 actually, because I hooked it up at like 3 in the morning or something. So that's where we stand so far. Actually, I can tell you exactly when did this start reading. I hooked it up but started working at 10, so a little less. But you see, we dropped down to 10.8. So, another difference I want to discuss with you here is this basal rate. When you're in manual mode, which this is, manual mode is pretty much just any generic insulin pump. It'll give you a preset dose of insulin. So my basal rate is set at 1.2. I could get more or less basal depending on what my blood sugars were. But another issue I had was my between 4:30 and 9:15, I didn't have any insulin. Or sorry, not any insulin. I didn't have my sensors going. Because I hooked up all my stuff in the morning and it was working fine. I had a low and then it went high, or because of glucagon, and then it didn't really connect and I started to fall again and I couldn't get compatible blood sugars. I waited about half an hour and redid a new one, and my blood sugar was still totally out of it. And finally, the sensor packed it in and said, oh, time for a new sensor. So I put it in, and finally 10 o'clock or 10:30, it started going into full. So now I only have to do it every 2 hours, every 12 hours, sorry. When you're not calibrated, your pump's not going to work. Calibrating is kind of like setting a watch to make sure that you're running the exact time. So, that's where I'm sitting here. And because I did not have any of the bolus correction or Jesus, what is it? It's correction or basal, my usual, that I just went up to 50 last night. And I woke up and I just was starting to feel the high, kind of like, I'm glad I finally made to take a correction value. But once we get over this little hiccup of switching over to the new pump, and it starts doing SmartGuard, things will be heading along quickly. I'll start feeling more like myself. But till then, the pump's just got to learn about me. So That's where we stand today. My pump issues, it's one of the downfalls of pumps. People think, oh yeah, I could put it in, I could change the sites. But then once I have my pump in, I never have to worry about insulin, never have to be worried about stuff. Well, sometimes you do. And people would say, oh, well, I'm just going to go back to shots because it's not giving me the correct amount of insulin. It will after 48 hours. Right now, it's giving you insulin. You may have higher blood sugars, but unless your site is your catheter, the part that's in your body, if it's come out and it's kinked, you're going to have a little bit higher blood sugars. It's just a part of life as a diabetic with an insulin pump. Have a good day. We'll talk again soon. Bye now. My email is mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com. mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com.